Hello everyone, I am Akira's Anchor and welcome to my first Minecraft video. For my first video, I thought before jumping into my current build that it might be fun to go back through some of my old builds. This particular world that I created is, it's called Stonemine, and this is really old. In fact, I started this world out on the Xbox 360 version. So very old. So before we go down into my build, let me just take a minute to explain a few things about it. I was inspired to do this build by Hermitcraft Season 5, where they did their big dig underground. If you're familiar with that, I just was really inspired by that. And I thought I would like to build a big open area underground and put things in it. So I decided to do a Dwarven kingdom. So when I started my world, I started right here. And this was basically my spawn area. So I just built up a couple of things to get myself going. You know, a little wheat farm and some sugarcane growing and all that. And then just enough to get a pickaxe going and some food. And then I just went straight down. So let us go down. Also, you know, this world being so old, there's a lot of things that are going to look a little different because of, you know, the block upgrades and that sort of thing. But that's okay. So this is like the top of my central building. But as you look out, you can see part of it. And this came out to like my first, you know, the ceiling of where I started digging. Pretty much. So let's go down and actually look so you can see what we're doing and standing on. It'll be good. And as I said, I started on Minecraft 360 version, which was a small map. So this was my beginning map. And then you can see it when it updated, all the maps around it kind of didn't coincide with what was originally plotted out. So it's kind of interesting. We are going to have slimes down here. So we'll have to contend with them from time to time, and I apologize for that. So this was my first building that I built, and it was like my kind of town center building. Oh, it's just meant to put like some basic storage and stuff. I kind of wanted to put something in here, but I just could never figure out what to do that. So when we're going up, you'll see that I have my library here and, you know, the potion maker here. Up here, this this is all just cobblestone that I collected over, you know, all the time that I was down here digging. So it's pretty funny to see like how much of this stuff that I collected. I think I eventually did start chucking it, but you know, and then this was just back up at the top here. This is where I kept like fine storage stuff. I think this was my diamonds. Yeah, the diamonds. So nether storage, just, you know, basic random stuff that you collect as you're playing the game. So let's go down and look around some more. When I was digging, this is the first diamond block that I uncovered, so I just left it. You know, in base, you know, you can see that our position is at level 4. At the time, bedrock was level 0, so that's why we're at 0 and not at negative 65. Over here is where I kind of started doing my shopping stuff. This was my sheep shop where you collect, you know, put the wool storage and all that. This was my bone shop where you keep the bones and bone meal and all that good stuff. Hi. And let me get rid of these guys real quick and we'll continue. Hopefully they're not going to be super duper annoying. Let me go ahead and keep wrecking these. Like I said, slimes are like the only problem that are down here. But it really wasn't a problem at the time because I had a lot of villagers. I have villagers like tucked in a corner. We'll get to them. And I had so many golems down here um, that they took care of all the slimes without a problem. I never really had to worry about it. When I transferred the world over to the Xbox X, it deleted mostly all of my villagers and the golems um, and all my animals for some reason, which I thought was kind of weird. But but that's okay because this is a world that I don't really play in anymore, so it's not really a big problem. So I am sorry about the slime infestation. I probably should have just chucked some golems down here before we started. But anyway, so back to the basic concept. So I wanted to just kind of have like, your town center and all the kind of little shops or whatever just in this center kind of area. Oh man, when I did my test runs, I promise you there were not this many slime attacking me. This is really annoying. I was really sorry. If I have to, I can start over and just slap some golems down or whatever. Anyway, we're gonna leave the little guys. Maybe they'll stop bigger guys from spawning. So, back over here, I built up these pillars. And as you can see, like I used andesite here. And the andesite blocks, used to look different. They had some kind of brighter elements into them, which I really, really liked. So andesite was like my favorite block for a long time until they updated it and kind of grayed it out. So now to me it just kind of looks like, another gray block, which is kind of irritating to me because I did like the texture of it a lot better before. But, it's okay. I'm glad that they take the time to update things and make them different. So you can find different ways of using them and, it's all good. So this was my stone processing plant. So basically it's just, the automatic furnace kind of thing to turn all the stone into, well, apparently I had a lot going on in here. Just to turn the cobblestone into stone and smooth stone and, all that goodness. Over here is this was the weapons area, the weapons and armor. And one thing that got deleted was all of my armor stands, which makes sense because they did a lot of updating with the armor stands. But I used to have an armor stand here, and I have no idea if I had like a good set of armor on it or not. I probably did because sometimes I did that just so I know where my good stuff was. But anyway, if I had like nether armor on there or something, and by nether I mean like armor that I would use in the nether, because obviously netherite wasn't a thing yet. Like I would have had it on there just so I could trade it out really quick if I wanted to go into the nether and have more fire protection or whatever. This was just like a lava pit that was here, and instead of digging this lava pit out, I just left it. So I just kind of built up around the sides to make it a little bit safer in that. And I do have my blacksmith. My blacksmith is still alive and running around. That's so nice. And speaking of blacksmith, this is the blacksmith area that I built. They did do the villager update at one point, so I do have some of like the new crafting blocks in place, which is cool. Hi little guys. Goodbye little guys. And this trap door is here because like on the Xbox 360 version, a very interesting thing occurred. Like you could get a villager stuck on a trap door, then they would just be stuck here. Like they couldn't wander around or move from that spot. So you might see like a couple of these. I mean, there's one here and there's one in the inn. And that's the reason why they're there just looking weird. was to just keep a villager. So like my blacksmith that's wandering around, I'm pretty sure that he was the guy that was standing there until the villager dated and the update happened, and now he's just able to roam around free. I know there had like 2 golems that were left running around. I have no idea where they are. Anyway, that's not important. So this was my slime emporium, and yeah. So I just made him look like, a little slime guy. So kind of fun, but yeah, you can see I got lots of slime down here, man. Oh my gosh. It's just, I can't believe that I don't have a crafting bench in here to convert it. But, I mean, my inventory just from running around in here for a few minutes. Come on. But anyway, it's funny. So, this we're not going to spend like a ton of time on because this is a memorial pretty much for a kitty that I had that was very near and dear to me that passed away in the process of me building this. So, her name was Sayla, and I put, her little signs up there. And then this cat was actually, Kitty. That was my first cat that I ever owned. So, like I said, it was just a nice little memorial that I built on the day that, that she passed away. So, I miss her still. But moving on, this is the tavern, the inn tavern for the dwarves. And if you notice, like, I really wanted to create my own style. I didn't want to go like Helm's Deep dwarves, like Lord of the Rings stuff. I just wanted to keep with my own style. And I had rules that I put in place for building down here, which was that I could only use like the stone products, like couldn't use wood in that, because to me it didn't make sense that you would have a dwarven kingdom and have like a bunch of wood. So like I kept with blocks that were pretty much just mineable only blocks, except for certain decorations and that. So going into the inn, we have like our little bar stand here. This was the trapdoor that I had the bartender stuck on, which of course he wandered off. This back here was just a place for, making food, cooking food, and then just food storage in here. So going back to my main concept, I just wanted to have like a city that was almost like a massive just like storage area. So like different places have different buildings had a reason to be there instead of just being there all nice and fancy. I wanted stuff in them. Oh, we didn't go upstairs. I get so distracted so fast. I'm sorry. So I liked the ceiling. I do think it looked a little better before because I think that the bottom of the stone walls like popped out more. So it gave it just a little bit more texture than what it has now. Seeing what it looks like now, I probably wouldn't do this again unless I traded it out with like another sort of stone. But I really did like the way that made, an interesting texture instead of just having, solid blocks up there. So we have our little tables, and we got our jukebox and my CDs, which I think I only found 2 different types. Yep, of course, the most common. But that's okay. And then coming upstairs, we have our little walkway, little seating area, and then we just have our rooms where, the dwarfs could sleep it off, pretty much. This standard room, and this one was like a more fancy room. And then we have our balcony out here, so you can just chill. And I love the way the place looks from standing up on this balcony. I don't know. This build is just, I've always liked it so much. Like, it's always just given me a sense of calm and peace whenever I come down here, even with the slimes. And then while I'm up here, I could talk about the pillars a little bit. Most of the pillars, they'll have like a doorway in them. And so if you get to the top of them, there's like a pathway behind up there that goes to different places. So like this one, for instance, has a minecart ride that if you ride out a little bit, it'll take you to an area that has another woodland uh, fortress. Is that what they're called? Woodland manor. A woodland manor. And there's also my first skeleton spawner that I found out there. So I made a lot of use of that track earlier in the game. Later on, I did find another skeleton spawner that was closer by, so I defaulted to using that one as opposed to writing that one out. This one here has a track into an abandoned mine shaft. So that one was kind of, I'm pretty sure it was this one. If not, it was another one that's closer by or like in the same area. But there was one that I rode up and you just walked that when the mine shaft was like really close by. I don't even remember how many of those I built around. But so coming out here, I think we'll go, yeah, there's the entrance to it. So that one went to the mine shaft. So coming behind you, go away. No, really. Go away. Oh, this is my sheep chute. So if you notice, there's a big hole up there that goes all the way to the top side. This is where I drop my animals down. You know, of course, all the ones they deleted, but it was quite fun to like, you know, push animals down here. It was like the best way to do it instead of trying to like make a minecart system to like minecart your animals down. Like, who wants to do that? So yeah, so this worked out really well for getting animals down. It was also a quick way for me to get down if I ever went topside for like whatever reason. So in here, this building went through some rather big transformations, because when I first built this building, it looks a little cheesy, man. I was so proud of this thing. Right now, man, I'm looking at it, it's making me laugh. But this was my original darkroom spawner building, and you know, since the specs changed with all the updates, I had to keep kind of modifying it as it went. So, like when I first started off, I had my darkroom spawner, and the place where the mobs came out was in the middle. Ugh, get through the door. Was in the middle in this thing, but I transferred them out, and I had a little way to get them out so that if I get a zombie villager, I can let them out of the trap kill area and then cure them, to get my trading villagers. And since they did the villager update, my darkroom spawner stopped working, and so I used to have all of my little villagers in little stalls along these walls. But I let them out because they wouldn't work in the stalls anymore, because because when they did the update, they have to be able to work and eat and all of that. But like I said, that this place was crawling, absolutely crawling with villagers. But when I transferred it over, I think they just deleted every villager that I didn't trade with. So up here was where I had like my spawning platforms originally. But I just kind of, recreated it into this for my villagers. So I do have, a decent amount of villagers in here, which is great. But like I said, like you couldn't take 2 steps in here without hitting a villager before. This is one of my, sugarcane farms. I tried to put an automatic sugarcane farm in here at one point. But back then the pistons were so loud that like I decided to take it out, but I just kept like natural growing sugarcane, because sugarcane was kind of an issue for me back in the day. Like trying to figure out ways to get enough of it was just like a severe headache for me. But so this is one place that I decided to let it grow. I didn't do like a lot interior wise in here for, I don't know why, I just didn't want to, I guess, because I'd already transferred the building over from its original spawning. This is where I just chucked all the beds in here. Like I remember like I did a rough count of how many villagers I had and then just threw all these beds up here. I don't even know, because I know right now like pathfinding upstairs is kind of a thing for villagers, so I don't even know how many of these guys in here are actually sleeping, but I guess that doesn't really matter because, you know, dead world that I'm not playing in anymore, sadly. But let's go out. So this was another sugarcane, like this was my automatic sugarcane farm. There's one of my golems. Get him. Get him. And they also deleted all my minecarts. So I don't know why that was a thing, but that happened. But it's just like the simple automatic sugarcane farm, nothing special. I just had 2 layers and then I had 2 minecarts that ran around continuously collecting. And so every now and then I'd have to come in here and make sure the minecarts were still running. But you know, like I said, I had a real problem with sugarcane. And I think a lot of problem with this building was just that I wasn't really in proximity of it enough for it to actually be productive. Even though you can see, like, I didn't really have a lot growing in here anyway. So, but it's, you know, it is what it is. And I didn't actually finish this building because this was one of the last things that I was working on in this world. And it seemed like my life had just become trying to make sugar cane and grow vines to make these blocks. Very time consuming and very boring. So I think that was a part where I had, you know, like I worked on this world for like 2.5 years, you know, not just down here, but there's other areas that we're going to look at. So this was my little farming building, and I did it with the mossy cobblestone because I figured that, you know, you're growing things, you're going to have moisture, and it's going to, you know, have after effects of growing, you know, algae and whatever. So that's why I went with that. Yeah, little tiny farm because I didn't really need, you know, you don't need big, massive food farms, really. So this was kind of like my little barn area where I kept my animals that they got rid of. So my cows were in here and my sheep were in here. And what really annoys me is like I had a named sheep in here too. Like I had a brown sheep, his name was Brownie. And I liked him very much and he is gone forever, but it's okay. This was where my chickens were, little annoying chickens. So, this was the leather spot, you know, close to the cows, so that you have like your leather worker kind of shop where I could put all the leather that I collected. This was a temporary thing. This is where when I was making concrete, I would fill this up with water. Or no, I mean, I would build the concrete powder pillar and then dump the water down here so that the water didn't spread around and take all my torches out. So that's why that was there. It's not supposed to be, you know, permanent by any means. But there it is. Just another wort farm thing. This was also like a last thing that I was trying to kind of do was to put decorative bits on the walls. So I know that I had this helmet design that I did, and I think I also had like an axe or a pickaxe design. And I was gonna try to like place these around and make the walls a little, you know, neater looking, you know, to give you some more points of interest to kind of look at. Let me see like my ceiling. It's so bad. it's just so bad. Like, every time I thought about, man, I should really do something with this ceiling, I just kind of shoved it off. I was like, yeah, nah. So, but obviously it would have been really cool to have like some sort of decorative stalactites and whatever coming from the ceiling. Um, Stalactites, however that word is. Anyway, this building is probably like my most disappointing at this point. Because this was supposed to be like the mayor's office. And using the stone walls here was so much cooler back when they had the holes in it. It added like a lot of just kind of texture and interest to it, but now that they're all solid, it looks like garbage. It's like, it is so bad looking. It's just like, I hate looking at it, but it's like, okay. But this was my obsidian storage place. I did a lot of clearing out lava, as expected. A lot. So, like, if you ever want to build something underground, I mean, that's something you have to be okay with, because you are going to run into lava like nobody's business. But like I said, I don't mind it. In fact, like, I found out like one of my favorite things in Minecraft is just mining. Like, there's something about mining and going down tunnels, removing blocks and collecting things. I just find it's just so relaxing. That being said, like, these are my mines. So, like I said, really enjoy mining. That doesn't mean that all my videos are just going to be me mining. Where did that golem go? Because it's not good to attack a slime block when you have golems around. I found that out the hard way. Because I accidentally hit some golems at time, and it was like insta death for me, because I had like 4 of them hit me at the same time, and I was toast. Nothing I can do about that one. One of my few deaths. But yeah, so I had a color-coded system here, so that I knew what was at the end of my mines. So, like, for instance, the red was lava, the blue was water, the black was, I think it was originally, like, when I reached the edge of the world, back before I changed it over to the digital edition. The white, I honestly don't remember what the white was. I know, like, down one of these is where the way to get to my other skeleton spawner. But I can't imagine that I would put white on all of those for that. Maybe it just meant that I can go further there or something. I wish I could remember, but it doesn't matter. So going over here, I had my little water spot that I can fish in for fishies. And I used to have a salmon in here named Sammy. He's gone. But that's okay. Obviously I made it to the end, but with the update, they took away our little extra wing spot. So my wings got eaten because I was wearing them, and now they're gone. And I looked around and I cannot find them. So I did not put them in a chest. And, that's okay, because I didn't really use my wings a lot. I had just kind of gotten them, and I was getting used to using them. But I did like having the purple plants down here. I think it's kind of cool. And I did use them for another build that we'll see later on. This is my little dwarven houses. So and basically the dwarven houses are just a mass storage area. So I built them in this design so that I knew what I was storing in them. So it makes it, handy without having to have like the same build over and trying to remember what block you put in what place. So, obvious. You can look at the building and know what's stored in there. Oh yeah. And I did put like you know, a little table and a little bed to give you an idea that it's, you know, a little dwarven house where they sleep. You know, redstone, lapis, coal, gravel, and diorite. I do like the diorite upgrade, even though I know that it looks less like real diorite looks, but I am kind of glad that they changed that one because it was a little bit harder to work with back when it had so much contrast in it. So yeah, so these are all my little houses. This is my zombie spawner in here. So I did this because it's like a little sword motif on the side. It's because you're me fighting when you go in there after a few minutes. I didn't really do much with the inside. Um, I mean, I should have blocked this off, but I don't even remember if these places went anywhere. Maybe they did. Maybe I had plans to, you know, dig down there or whatever. But there's a zombie spawner over here somewhere. And this is like the water thing where maybe they got rid of because... Oh, there they are. Okay. So, you know, I just did the basic, you know, spawner thing where you put water under it and let them come down. And then I had this here so that I can let, you know, one out if I wanted to cure it or whatever. But I don't think I ever used this to cure any zombie villagers. And then the little auto collect to collect their bits underneath. Hooray. But, alright, let's get out of there. So this, I have some hidden areas. So this back here behind my houses is a green space. And I put in the green space expressly for flowers so that I can have dyes when I wanted to have dyes to make different concrete blocks or whatever I needed them for. And I did this little mushroom here. It's like a little mushroom kind of shop, flower shop. But I swear that I had chests. Oh, wait. They're behind it. Oh, I was so confused when I came in here, and I'm like, I know I had chests to like store my flowers and dyes in. Like, where did they go? So I guess I did stick them behind. That's so funny that I thought I was really confused. I was like, why would they delete chests? So like I said, so all of this area was under lava, and this was all filled with lava. And I dug all of this lava out so that I can have like, you know, just a little green space. And maybe this is like if the elves came and visit, this is where they would want to hang out or something. And then through here is where I was growing my trees, because even though I wasn't using wood to build, you still need wood. So this was where I grew my trees down here. And I dug that up, and I can't remember how high that was, but it doesn't matter. This was like a little dilapidated building that I made, as though it used to be a structure, but it, you know, decayed over time. I guess it looks okay. It's not like the best, but it works. And this is just where I stored my wood that I was using. And then I had... well, mushroom. Yeah, mushroom. The place that I would grow mushrooms at. Because now you don't, like, you needed to have real darkness in order for your mushrooms to spread back then. And now they don't really need to be in the dark anymore to spread. So that's why they're like in there cordoned off with a little piston, so that this guy, so that if I had like a creeper or something spawn in there, I could kill them before they wandered out. this up here, how do I get up there? Where's my place? I think it's this one. Yeah, this was an area, this is where I moved all of my, the special traders to, so that I wouldn't lose them in the sea of villagers that was in the other building. So that's like my mending and that, and those guys are in there. This was my other sugarcane farm that I did. But like I said, my problem with these was that I just, proximity is such a thing in Minecraft. And so how productive your farms are depends on your proximity. So this was kind of useful when, but see, like my returns are just garbage here. So like I think I thought that if I put this up here and I was chopping down trees, I would get like more return. Obviously this one's not automated, and I think yeah, I don't know, but like I said, I struggled with my sugarcane in this world. A lot. Oh, and I also had, I put this fishing hole in here so that I can fish and hope that my sugarcane would grow too. Oh gosh. I forgot about this. This piston contraption was just for getting the villagers up and down. That was its only purpose. So I have one more spot down here to show you. And it is like one of my favorite things that I've ever done. But it's hidden over here. And what it is it's the Dwarven church. And my idea, I was like, what can you do like a Dwarven church? Like, what would a Dwarven church be like? So what I had thought of was, it would be really neat, like if they had found a giant geode. And geodes were not in the game at the time. And, that didn't come out till, like a couple of years ago or whatever. So I thought about that idea, that if they found a geode and they took all the dark stuff off of the outside and kind of left the, the sparkly stuff on the ceiling, like what would that end up looking like? So I built this little pathway and I made it curvy because I was kind of inspired. My mom goes to a church and their driveway up to it is curvy, and they did it on purpose. Like the idea was that the path to God is never straight. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I kind of made this a little bit curvy for that reason. And then this is the church that I came up with. So it's all circular around, and I used white concrete for the outside. And then on the inside, like I came up with this design for the ceiling to make it look like the crystals were still in there. And I just love this. And the only thing that's a little bit changed on this one is that the iron bars that I used behind everything were a lot shinier back when I built it, so it really gave it even more of an additional glow. At this point, if I ever wanted to do something like this again, I would probably use some end rods somewhere. But I am really happy with the way that came out and the way that it looks, and I think I accomplished like what I was going with. So inside here, you just have like your basic kind of church things. You have like your little the holy water fountain thing, and like a little bookshop, and the pews and the altar. And then this here, I had armor stands. So these were little angel statues that were on the, if I stand here, you can kind of get an idea of kind of what it looked like before. But like I said, it did look better when the iron bars were super shiny, but it's okay. So I don't think that I'm forgetting any. I don't think I've run across any builds that I've missed down here, so I'm probably gonna wrap this video up here, and then we'll start a new one where I take you out to the Elven Castle that I built. So this is the pathway to the Elven Castle. Just a minecart ride that takes about a minute and a half or something to get down there. So I will go there and I will see you when I get there. Well, probably just before I get there, because I do like the way the tunnel looks when you're coming out. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.